Hello, I've been a facilitator for over 20 years. That doesn't mean I know everything, but it is a long time and I have picked up some tips and tricks along the way. In this video, you will learn some basic facts about facilitation. I'll also explain the differences between a facilitator, a trainer, and a presenter. When a problem comes up, people often have a tough time listening to each other. It's not hard to imagine a meeting where one person is talking about the facts, someone else is focused on the feelings, another person is trying to find solutions, a fourth person wants to know when lunch is, and everyone else is browsing social media. This sounds familiar, right? People aren't on the same page, and even worse, they have the tendency to disagree and shoot down each other's ideas. Meetings with just a dozen people are chaotic, so you can imagine the challenges that large organizations face trying to connect thousands of employees. Facilitation is the process of alignment. The facilitator is a person who connects people by focusing on the process of the meeting. Instead of focusing on the content of the meeting by voicing their opinions and fighting for their ideas to be accepted, the facilitator is content neutral. The facilitator makes sure everyone is heard, they keep everyone on the same page, and they help the group make decisions by using communication tools. People often ask me, what's the difference between a presenter, a trainer, and a facilitator? Let me give you an example. When I was in high school, I had a great history teacher. He told fascinating stories that I loved listening to. I remember when the bell rang to end class, he would stop talking mid-sentence, only to start the next class continuing from right where he left off. I've never seen anything quite like it. What a great memory. My history teacher was a typical presenter. He focused on delivering content, but there was no process to guarantee learning. A trainer focuses on both content and the learning process. In the 1950s, researchers conducted studies about human memory. A group of people were told a story and then tested 3 weeks later to see how much information they could remember. The results were disappointing. People only remembered around 5% of the content. Then researchers tried a new kind of study. People were given discussion questions after a presentation, and they had time to talk about what they just heard. 3 weeks later, the results were much better. People could remember 25% of the presentation. Their retention had increased 5-fold. This is what a trainer does. They deliver the content and make sure that people come away with some key learnings by giving them reflection questions. A facilitator focuses on the process. Today, the world is different than what it was in the 1950s. There's not so much emphasis on teaching anymore because information flows more freely now, and there are highly trained experts everywhere. Nowadays, the challenge is to get these smart people to understand each other so they can make decisions together. This is what a content-neutral facilitator helps people do. So who's best, the trainer, the presenter, or the facilitator? Well, they're all great, and each performs an important function. A presenter informs, a trainer implements, and a facilitator helps co-create. Many organizations rely on all three. A presenter is used to inform people about a new strategy. Then a trainer is used to ensure that everyone understands the new strategy and writes a concrete action plan. Finally, if you want employees to create an implementation plan together, you can bring in a facilitator. You don't necessarily need to bring in someone new to be a presenter, trainer, or facilitator. There are roles that can be adopted or changed when needed. Just remember to communicate your role. If you're changing between these roles rapidly in the same meeting, it can get confusing. Participation is important. It creates understanding and commitment. However, having everyone always participate in decision-making can be draining. But don't worry, you don't have to facilitate all the time.